first stuff.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm Eric Horton, as you know, and Alan Jeeps coming up here. And we're going to take you through an exercise today where we teach you how to build an ebook using Creative Book Builder. And so the idea behind this session is really thinking about this from a standpoint of if you were going to build an ebook that you would distribute to students as part of a flipping the classroom kind of a model or something, so you're creating content for them to consume. But the way that we're going to have you do this is a way that I think you'll probably go, well, if the students had this app, there's all kinds of project-oriented things that they could do with it. So this is kind of a session that's going to be both from an instructor's and a student's perspective. So we're going to spend about 20 minutes just going over the basic features of how to do things, kind of demonstrating, and you can practice something real quick. But then what we're going to do after that, the bulk of the session, we're going to spend about 40 minutes or so sending you out around campus. What we've done is we've identified 5 locations on campus that we've created a little Google Doc, so there's kind of pre-made text that you can import into your ebook. We'll show you how to do that. And what we're going to do is after we've shown you the app, and we'll kind of divide you up into 5 groups. What we want to have is each group go out and go to one of the locations that we've selected for you, and one location that you select yourself. And you'll create an ebook with some parameters that we give you, a couple of chapters of an ebook actually. And then what we're going to do is come back, and everyone will put their ebook in the last half hour, 25 minutes or so. Everybody will put what they made, if there are 2 chapters, into a Dropbox. And then we'll all have the opportunity to download each other's chapters and compile them into one ebook that we all then have a copy of. Chapters may be in a little bit different order, but doesn't matter. What it's going to be is essentially a tour of the campus created as an ebook. So with that, Alan will start, and Alan and I are going to kind of tag team for a few minutes on showing you how to do various things within Creative Book Builder. So if you want to show it, that's great. You have the outlines in your hand.
Yeah, I was going to say you're going to have to knock me off and I'm going too far on this one because I'm not sure where to stop. All right, so y'all have this open, right? Okay, you want to roll?
I know.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm not going to start till everybody has it up. Creative Book Builder. It's orange and white. It says CBB.
Do we need to make that able to find that?
No, we'll go ahead and open up the book.
Oh, okay.
So, actually,
For right now to practice, they just create,
Just create a
start
book.
and create a book.
so that's the plus button right here.
What should the title of our book be? Practice.
Okay, so once you have your book created, and I just made a new one called Test Book, then you click on it and you are in Test Book, or whatever it is that you've called it, and it gives you an automatic chapter. So this interface is not really hard to understand. It's got the 2 columns, right? So if there's a books up here where you can go back to all of your books, up in the upper left-hand corner. There's a plus here that if you hit it, it'll give you the opportunity to build chapters or sections. Now you already have a chapter here that I have selected because it's in blue, right? So anything that I do is going to be adding to that chapter. If I hit section here, it'll put a section underneath that chapter. If I hit chapter here, then it gives me an opportunity to go ahead and give it a title. And you can come back and you can change these names anytime you want. Anything you do here isn't set in stone. Give it an alignment, and you can go out by clicking the bottom on the font. I forget you guys can't see what I'm touching. So I just click the bottom where it said font, and I can choose a typeface by clicking on font name. I can change the size, and I can change the color. Once I've done all that, I can hit save.
And that's just how the chapter header shows up in the book. That's
Right.
what the font is for.
And then if I hit save here, then you'll see that it put new chapter underneath chapter 1. If I would have made a section, it would have made it a sub-portion underneath that's like an indent on chapter 1. So it would become part of chapter 1 if it's a section, okay? So you can split your chapters into sections.
How do you change,
Go ahead.
how do I change the name on one that's already there?
On one that's already there, you see down at the bottom
Oh.
where it says edit, import, the little gear, and publish.
Yeah.
So while I have chapter 1 highlighted, if I click on edit,
Okay, thank
then it gives me an opportunity to delete it outright or insert things before or after it. I can't remember how you change it.
You do, you just get rid of it.
Let's try it. Edit here. Just 'cause that's
There you go.
this is a big gear.
That's the whole book. Good question, we'll get back to you.
Okay.
It's just delete and then all the other ones. Because once
Yeah.
you do edit, there's a negative.
There is a way to do it, I just.
So perhaps I misspoke and you can't actually change it once you make a
How
change.
to change the.
How to change the title on a chapter.
I'm pretty sure you, oh, you know what, hit edit, actually, this. No. There you go.
The gear.
Okay, so once
The
you're over
gear
here,
next to edit. You have
this
to have
is
selected.
the book. This is now the chapter that you're inside of, so that gear icon in the chapter pane, kind of over here, lets you.
Then you can change it. Yep.
I knew you could do it.
Oh, I see.
That's not really true, but there you go. Okay, so I'm going to show you at this point, I'm going to show you how to put in text, page breaks, and headers. So I'm in chapter 1, and I can add an element here. When I click on that, you see I've got text file, or media file, miscellaneous along the top, and I've got title, paragraph, markdown, and HTML. One on top of the other going down towards the bottom. So I'm going to add a textual item, and my title that I'm going to put in is really original. Now that I have that, I can put it up. Oops, if I click on it, it comes back up. I can clear it. And then I have to type it in again. I can change the typeface by hitting font at the bottom, and color and size. And style is how I align it.
Yeah, that's just like a header within the chapter.
So there's your title. If I want to get rid of it, then I go to edit, and hitting the minus thing will get rid of it. The gear, actually I didn't have it selected. Oh, I can't select it.
To
No,
change.
the gear
to change
always
it,
does the book.
That's the gear is to edit the chapter.
Then the plus button over on the other side allows you to add more underneath it. So now I want to put in a paragraph. Oh, that's not going. Ooh, what if we can spell? All right, and again, you have the ability to boldface, but you need to hit that before you start typing. Bold, italics, and underline.
And you can select text in that and make it bold after the fact.
You do that by pushing down on a word until you get the menu that comes up that is select all, that sort of thing. You can bold it and do everything with it while it's selected. change the typeface and all of those ways that we've done the style, or make it a link. So by clicking the link, then you get the opportunity to put in the URL that you want to go to if you click on it. Type changes whether it's going to go out to be a web page, send as an email, push as an SMS message, telephone, link to another chapter inside the book, or link to a glossary term.
Where did you get that link again?
I got that link down at the bottom, right here by the box with the arrow by it. But I had to have it selected. So I had to push down, I'm pushing down on paragraph. When I push again, then I get the select all. And then,
Or you could select and then drag your finger, drag the blue handles to select just the word paragraph. Something like that too.
and then I just touch link. And then for the type, I hit that. Okay? Okay, that's a little more in-depth than we wanted to go. Page breaks is what's next.
Markup and HTML, don't worry, those are more advanced, so we're not going to worry about those for right now.
So in order to get to page break, I hit the plus sign and I go over to miscellaneous. And page break is the third one down. So I can put in a page break, and you'll see it just says page break there. In order to see any of this as you're building it, you can just click the preview button over on the side and it'll show it to you. And you can see it in both EPUB and PDF. Now, does anybody need that explained?
Yeah, move to page break.
Okay, page break again is you hit the plus button up here by the chapter, go over to miscellaneous, and it's the third one down.
So you're not actually in the thing where it says this is on paragraph. Oh.
No.
That's correct. You're in the content chapter.
Yeah. So what's EPUB? What's an EPUB? When I go to preview, down at the bottom here it says EPUB and PDF. It is a type of a book. It's the one that iBooks uses most popularly. So it's an ebook format, EPUB. The other one that you can see here is just PDF. I don't think you need an explanation for that, right? Good. Okay. Headers is what's left.
That was the same thing as title.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
So,
Any questions on that?
okay, so you can also add other things. You can add all different kinds of media. So you can add an image that just will go to your camera roll. So it'll come up now. You might have to enable location services. A lot of times apps that try to access your camera roll require that you have location services enabled first. But you can go and pick any photo out of your camera roll. You can add a video, and that'll also go from your camera roll. But also with photo or video, and this will be important for your field trip. With both photo and video, there's an icon down at the bottom that has a camera on it. And if you click that, then you can take a photo right from your camera or a video right from your camera at that time and have that go into your ebook. So it doesn't have to be something you've already shot. It could be, I'm standing here right now and I want to record this video and dump it right into my ebook. And then you can also add an audio recording where it comes up and you see it start, stop. So I can hit start and I talk here and I just narrate and I stop. And that becomes part of my ebook. So I can do a little narration right there, record part of the script. Record the book. If I want to have like each page, you can click here to have it read to you, or I can do a little interview in the field and embed that in the book. music, which it just pulls from the music library on your device. So, other than that, there's also one other way that you can add a hyperlink. That's under miscellaneous, and it's here, link. And so then you just put the title, what says here is title. That would be the text that you want to have show up in the link, and then the web address. And one last thing that we need to show you for the project we're about to do is you can import a chapter into your book from different sources, from Dropbox or from Google Docs primarily. And so over here in my book at the bottom where it says import, there's a button second from the left, on the lower left. If I hit import, then I have an opportunity to import in a document from Google Docs, or a PDF file from Dropbox, or an EPUB from either place. And so for what we're about to do, we'll have you import a document from Google Docs. So I'm going to go here, and it'll ask if you're not already logged in eBook Creator or Creative Book Builder. It will ask you to log in, but once you've got the app kind of paired with your Google account, then you can just go and look at all your docs.
So how you log in?
Oh, you hit link?
When you hit import and then get a document from Google Docs, does it ask you to then log in? Yeah.
Didn't ask me, just told me I'm not.
We just need to hit the link button on the upper button, right?
So once you're logged in, then you see your Google Docs here, and you can select one, and it'll import in. So I'm going to import in the administration building document, and I hit start import, and it imports it in. It tells me what it's going to put in there, and I say save that.
I'm logged in now, but what am I?
And now I have this paragraph in here as text for a new chapter.
But he's doing Google Docs, right?
And then from there, just like Alan, if I wanted to add more to this, I can go type in more. I can save that, and now I have that additional text. And that's critical because what we're about to do is going to have you import something from Google Docs before you log around campus.
Google Docs or Dropbox?
Google Docs is what I was doing.
Okay, can you come here?
Because we're only seeing how to get some
Doc file.
We did this.
That may be the only thing you have in your Google Docs.
Why? I mean, does Google Docs change?
I don't know anything about Google Docs. No, I mean, but I haven't shared. Well, the administration will won't be in there. For me, it's just my thing. You're only going to see what's in your.
Where else is that go to look at my Google Docs?
You have the Google search app. That's right there. There it is. Well, you only.
So it's always for PDFs, right?
Well, you didn't do PDF from. It'll only, it's not available.
Not very easy. Not the easy. So I don't have any. Okay. I got it. So you can't put spreadsheets in your book?
What's that?
You can't put spreadsheets in your book?
Not import them. You can put tables in your book, but I don't think you can bring a spreadsheet in.
Find out that you can't.
Okay, so.
Oh, okay.
So Alan, at this point, I think we probably have to divide them up into groups.
Okay.
And then what I'll do real quick is share the Google Doc. Why don't you go ahead and divide them into groups, and I'll get my laptop set up so that I can.
They actually have, if they go to today's session information, all the links are.
But in order to import it into their Google Docs, it's going to have to be shared with them.
Oh, okay. If they.
Yeah.
Right. They want to do it that way, that's what I'm saying.
But to import it,
And picture to my garage paragraph. Just need a picture of. It's camel.
Got it.
Yeah.
Do you want this to rotate so that you can?
so Alan, you.
Yeah, I
It wasn't locked after.
So Alan, go ahead and divide them into groups, and I will log in and then share.
There are 20 of you, so 5 to a group.
Oh, perfect.
So get in your groups of 5. That will be.
Trader.
It's groups of 5.
You are doing one chapter of what will become a bigger book.
We just need one iPad.
I don't know. You're going to want it back.
Okay, that was the last instruction, was the green on. I'm okay.
Like the screen.
You could do like an intro
Sure,
of
right.
access with your parents acting on the
So, what I was.
table question.
Just answer along, try again.
That's so smart though. If you had a little book about how to do something.
That's what I'm getting. Do you want to run through that? Faster than sharing?
I'm not sure that it is, but why don't you show them how to do that, and I'll give it to Sharon.
Okay. So,
And then we'll give them a choice.
we're gonna practice switching between apps. So what you want to do is get to Safari. Okay. So we're going to double click on here, and if you have Safari down here in your tray, you can go look for it this way. If you don't have Safari in your tray, then you can single click from here and then just go find it wherever it is on your screens. Okay? So what we're looking for is, have we ever given them the address to this Google Doc?
To that site.
Yeah, to the
It
site.
should probably all have a bookmark.
Okay, so you want to go to the Summer Institute site, and you want to go to the schedule. Who isn't there? Who is there? Give me a raise hand who's there. Okay. So once you are on the schedule, am I free to go forward? Once you're on the schedule, you want to go down to where our session is. It's called Developing eBooks with the iPad, 1235. You want to click on that. Once that's up, then you want to scroll down until you see the 5 links. Okay, now there are only 4 groups, so it looks like the 4 student union building doesn't get to be done this time. So let's have the Excellence Bell be this group, the Administration Building be this group, Taco Bell Arena be that group, and World Sports Humanitarian Hall of Fame is the back history group, okay? So is it?
Union.
Do student union, we'll get that one
We're
out.
not very athletic.
That's all right. Sure, your choice. Okay, so go ahead and click on the link in there that coincides with your group. And you should see some text come up for you to use.
Yeah, I had to log in and get it.
Did you log in? It's not coming up. Best laid plans.
Mine's not working.
I share it with anyone who has access to the room. Everybody nobody's seeing text.
I know, when I click on it, but I'm there.
You're seeing text.
Yeah.
But nobody else is. Anybody in this group seeing the text?
Maybe there's one.
Anybody in this group seeing the text? Anybody in this group seeing the text?
She's keeping us up.
So you have text.
Yep. Which one?
Keep saying the error.
So what we want to do is put pixels.
We're supposed to be.
Okay, raise your hand if you're seeing text. 2, 3.
I think it's just one more. It might just be the student union building that's
Can't even get one more. I was going to hope I could
Okay,
spit you guys out around.
Tell you what, I've got, who's in the Excellence Bell group?
We could use
Okay.
I think
Who's
the boxes are
after?
empty, Alan, like only see the student
Dave
union.
Walker,
None of the other ones.
Laurie Carey,
Yes.
and, I'm sorry, next to Laurie, striped shirt, give me your name.
Sherry Dorsey.
Sherry Dorsey.
I got it. You guys got it.
Okay, that is now shared with you, so you can import it from Dropbox, the way that
Oh, okay.
you should.
So go out and do it.
So the humanitarian hall of
Word,
fame.
but they missed it.
Alan, I don't have,
Things saying that there's an error.
Eric,
yes.
World Sports Humanitarian Hall of Fame.
Are you sure?
So that's two, the sub and the Hall of Fame.
You know what it was? It was the way I set the permissions on those files. If you go reset the permissions on those files, the other ones will come. Both of the ones I made came up.
Well, and I am able to share with you in Google Docs, both of the ones that I made. That's how I intended for you to do it, is by having it in Google Docs.
Miscommunication between the
Eric, where did you put it in Dropbox?
It's not in Dropbox, it's in Google Docs. If you
Oh,
go do the
okay.
import and then file from Google Docs, it's shared with you now and you'll see it.
So open up one of your docs, and then just go see.
They've already, they're taken care of, because they did it in Google Docs, so. Admin building.
Ah. Yeah, they just shared it with them.
Okay,
So now
But interestingly enough, the only two that show up for me are World Sports Humanitarian Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame.
No, mine's set up with anyone with a link to view.
I don't know.
I haven't changed
I
anything
can't
about it.
import, but I can import those two, and those are also ones that I can see.
Okay, so who's in the admin building group? Okay.
Oh, he's sure it's
Excellent.
You guys fill it out.
No, he's
I'm sharing it right now. I'm sorry, give me your name. Yeah, I think that. Okay. It is shared with you.
So, actually, Eric, we could have them go out and get started on theirs. And while you get this set up, right? Because we're having
I've got everybody but one building should be.
So how do,
Well, maybe everybody. So you get it's shared. This one they have it shared with them in Google Docs. Same here.
so,
Yeah,
So how do they?
yeah, how did you get both?
now to all docs. Yes.
Oh, so I can't just click on a link.
Click on the link and then go back to all docs.
It's a very short paragraph, right?
Yeah.
So we want to import that doc into our book.
How did you get to where you could see?
When you import something, it becomes its own chapter.
So what if I wanted to be part of chapter 4?
Maybe it is and select all. Yeah, I just like to
That's what I want to do.
Oh, you're not on Jack, you should have access to it.
Okay, Alan, do the other two in the groups in the back have it, and they can go through the way you group?
Okay. Talk about it. There's no way Go back to the schedule. Go back to the schedule, we should be able to click on that one. They're just gonna do the humanitarian, holiday.
Okay, either way, I mean, I'm sharing it right now if they want
Yeah,
to.
they've got it already, so
Okay,
they're actually excited about that, so.
all right. All right, so if everybody's got your text, here's what you need to do now, is you go out to these locations, and I would say to go ahead and if you've made like any chapters that are just test chapters, something like that, go ahead and delete those, so that the only chapter you have is your, because this should have imported in as well, if you did it through the Google Docs, you'll have it as another chapter. You should already. Oh, you cut it. Okay, never mind. Here's what we want. In your book, when you come back, we don't want any junk chapters. We want only chapters that are from the campus tour. So you should have one, maybe two chapters if you go do this location, and then if you have time and you want to pick and do another location. But we'll need you back here by 2 o'clock?
Yes.
2 o'clock. So what you'll want to do is go out and you need to have it could be across 2 chapters if you do 2 locations, or it could be just all for one location. You need to have at least one video, at least one still camera shot, at least one recorded audio clip, some narration, or grab somebody who's right there and say, tell me about this building, do whatever you want to do, one audio clip. And one link to a website. Okay? So have those things as part of that chapter with the text there, and you can insert it between paragraphs, whatever kind of lay your book out how you want. And then come back to your chapters, and what we're going to do is take each of the chapters that you create, put them into a Dropbox, and then everybody will have a chance to import everybody else's chapter to come to it. So really, you really only need to come with one chapter for the group. So you don't each have to do it, you can kind of work together to build, one chapter. And what we're gonna ultimately end up with is a little campus tour ebook.
So video, a still photo, and audio file, and then
Right. Link to a website. Okay, does that make sense? Those 4 things. Now, feel free, everybody can do it if you want in your group, and then just take, like, this is the one of the 5 that we're gonna actually submit to the government. So feel free to have everybody do it. Yeah, you can leave all your stuff in here. It'll stay here.
Sprinkler systems.
Alan and I will make sure it doesn't fall. Yeah. Yeah,
Okay. You have many things a little bit.
yes. Feel free, we're gonna stay here. Alan and I will be here, we'll guard it.
You know, I wish there was a way to pause this.
Yeah, me too. But what we might have to do is just have 2 recordings, because we certainly don't want to leave it running for half an hour.